It is training camp week, at least the start of it, and we are back live here on the Cowboys Report. Tom Downey, producer Chris behind the scenes on today's show. A couple of days to go until we'll get actual real news on the Cowboys with roster moves, injury updates, training camp takeaways, and more as the dead period of the cycle of the offseason finally winding down. The one big thing left for Dallas to do was supposed to be the free square this offseason. The Cowboys still haven't done it. It's paying CeeDee Lamb. Will a deal get done between Lamb and the Cowboys before training camp starts? So you got the rest of the day today, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I guess technically speaking Thursday morning. So not a lot of time left for the Cowboys to get stuff squared away and figured out here. It's frankly embarrassing. We are still having this conversation on a deal that could have been done a year ago. Truly could have been done. Why couldn't you have done it at the same time you paid Diggs? You could have if you had operated a little bit more urgency with whatever seemingly feel like operating with. So will a deal with Lamb get done before training camp? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off in the comments. Some yeses in there. Brian, Perry, Johnny, Dustin says that he hopes so. I hope so too. At a certain point, it kind of becomes well, why isn't it done yet? And I kind of feel like that way every day. Well, why wasn't it done a day ago? Why wasn't it done yesterday? There's really no good excuse or reason for the Cowboys to have not yet paid CeeDee Lamb. Just doesn't make sense. No explanation beyond Stevens. It takes time. But does it? Other teams have gotten it done. At least with the Niners, we know they're lowballing Ayuk. We actually don't know what the Cowboys are offering Lamb. That's probably not a good thing. I don't think it is, at least. So we'll do get done. Y for yes, N for no. Ecuador Man says no. Christmas Baby says no. Giselle says no. Mitchell and T Baby, though, typing in their Ys for yes. I hope they get it done. I think they will get it done at some point. It's a question of when that deal will end up getting done. And I think it's either way, you've limited your spending power because you could have created more cap space to pay them. And you did not go down that path in the process. So get your votes in. Y for yes, N for no. As we tell you guys about today's sponsors of the live edition of the Cowboys Report. First up is Rocket Money. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. That's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. That link is in the live chat, and so too is the link for Game Time, our good friends back in the fold. You can take the guesswork out of buying NFL or MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but again, create your account, use code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS for $20 off. That link is also in the live chat. Now, we are back once again with the final wide receiver round, which has been a lot of guys I feel bad leaving off. We might add a fourth one, frankly. Final round of Cowboys legend voting at wide receiver. I think we have some great names here. We got Sam Hurd, who is also in the NFL Criminal Hall of Fame. If we can be honest about it, it's okay. He is. Type SH for Sam Hurd. Antonio Bryant, who the forgotten 88, AB. Jesse Holley, JH for him. And then two players who were good in the NFL, just not really with Dallas. Peerless Price and Danny Amendola, PP and DA. Right now on the live poll side, 50% of the votes, Chris, coming in for Antonio Bryant. If I could best describe Antonio Bryant, it was like a little bit of Antonio Brown mixed with Dez Bryant, but like the bad parts of just not being able to focus. And just like, he was a very physically talented player, but he made one mistake or did something wrong and got in his own head. It was a nightmare. It was just not it just didn't have the physical skills were there. Everything else probably wasn't. Sam Hurd was not a good football player. Great drug dealer. Or I guess it makes him a bad drug dealer because he got caught. I don't know. I'm a little surprised Sam Hurd only has 23% of the vote. I think Antonio Bryant, Sam Hurd are both great options. But I try to keep it in tied with eras together. because I think that's the fairest way of going about it. As a reminder, as your votes come in, the other wide receiver winners were Robinson. Or no, wait, no, I did that. Oh, sorry. Kevin Ogletree. I was looking at the wrong tab. And Rocket Ishmael. So, again, Kevin Ogletree had like a game of like, wow, this guy, I remember that. Everyone claiming him off of waivers and then for fantasy, and then he does nothing ever again. Rocket Ishmael was really good, but he was also just kind of like a one-time player more than anything. Or like better elsewhere, excuse me. I'm pulling up the Ogletree once had 436 yards in a season. That was in the 2012 campaign. And he had, what was the game he had that one year? He had, week 1 against the Giants, he pops off for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had like a fourth of his production in one game. It's hilarious. It was hilarious. To keep the Cowboys legends coming, or votes, I should say. Like, Michael Irvin is too good. He's an actual Hall of Famer. These are not good players. Now, what I also need from you guys, since there actually aren't any tight ends in the Ring of Honor for now, Jason Witten will get in there. We'll put a tight end vote up once Witten is officially added. So we have to skip tight ends for now, because it'll be a living, breathing Ring of Honor, just like the real one. We need offensive lineman suggestions. We need O-line ones. I've got Larry Allen Jr. and Chaz Green on there already. But we got 2 spots to fill with Larry Allen and Rayfield Wright. So we need more offensive linemen. Again, these are not good offensive linemen, but like they once played for the Cowboys. Like I really feel like Larry Allen Jr. is just going to get absolutely voted in no matter what. I think it'd be kind of hilarious. Like Travis Frederick is also too good. Hell, Connor Williams might be too good to get put in the category. So I need like offensive linemen who played for Dallas. Someone said Ezekiel Elliott for offensive linemen. That's really funny. I'm going to put that in there with a question mark. Zeke at center. Because I feel like that one would win no matter what. Because actual Zeke is too good to go in the Cowboys Ring of Honor for the Legends bit. Like Flozell Adams was too good. I think Ron Leary was too good. I think Mark Colombo was even too good. Doug Free was too good. We need like not good players. Xavier Suafilo, good one. That is a good one. That's the level of player we're searching for there. Joe, I'm going to put Joe Looney on there with a question mark because he think it might be too good. Jason Peters is a great one. I'm not putting Josh Ball in there on principle. Sorry, I refuse to do it. I refuse. Like Looney was decent, but like we loved him more. He's like in the Ben DiNucci Cowboys legend thing, although he's probably better than that. Oh, Isaac Alarcon, that's a good one. Let's see what else we got in here. Jacob Rodgers. I remember that one. Oh, I know who I got at. Parker Ehringer, who they traded Trevarius Ward for. That's a good one to have in there. Jacob Rodgers is a good one too. Oh man, Kyle Kosher. Oh, what a great poll. That's a good one. Now we're getting some good names going in there. Solomon Page. Some of these guys. Some of these. So I need in particular. Like I need help with like the older players. Like Jacob Rodgers is like just early enough. Man, that's such a good one. 2nd round pick and he sucked. That's such a good Cowboys legend pick there. Like Tom Raftery. Like, oh man, Kyle Kosher. That's such a good poll. Remember him way back when. Yeah, Doug Free was too good. Get a couple more names in here. I'm not going to put current players on there. Like Brock Hoffman, I'm not going to put. Because like, what happens if he ends up being good? Oh, Pat McQuiston. What a good poll. I'm not going to put a long snapper on here either. Or McQuiston, however you pronounce it there. That was Bill Parcells' pick, right? He actually, by the way, he spent a long time in the NFL. I don't know if you guys know that. He was a 2006 Cowboys draft pick. He was hanging around the NFL until 2014. He spent 8 years in the NFL. That's kind of crazy, including 2 different stints with Dallas. That's a really good one. I'm going to bold that one in my note tracker. I think Zeke at center is pretty fucking funny. I might have to do that one. I think that's really good. That's really good. All right, we got our super chat menu on tap for today's show as well. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap, $100 for the bong slap shot combo. Bosses said $300. We get to go home early today, so that's to go play more CFP 25. Which, by the way, Chris, we have not talked about this yet. How are you doing over there?
So last night I played it. I mean, I've been playing it pretty much since every single free second I have, I've been playing.
Yep.
I have 42 hours of college football.
Attaboy, right there up there with me.
Since last Monday.
Yeah, that's enough with me. I was busy golfing this weekend for club championship stuff. I did qualify for it, by the way.
And that's with 2 nights having to go to the girlfriend's house.
It's tough.
So take 2 nights out of that, I still have 42 hours.
I made a huge mistake. I was in an online dynasty with friends, and I set it up, and I thought I put the difficulty at All-American. I did not. I put it at Heisman. So no names. One guy is like 1-6. I am undefeated on the Heisman difficulty, which I didn't realize I was doing because I also did that with the Penn State. I was like, I need to get work on not having a mobile quarterback. I need to have someone that's a pocket passer and like work on my passing. So like, I'll do Penn State because Drew Aller's not really a mobile quarterback, but he's got a good arm. So I wanted to test it out. And like I'm undefeated. I beat USC on the road in a comeback effort, and then I went, oh my God, I'm on Heisman. So I went 2-10 with Miami and got fired on Heisman, and I'm undefeated elsewhere. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So $300 we'll go home early, and ignore our families and friends. Well, I guess our friends are playing the game. But all right, $5 super chat from Mark. JJ says he wants to sign Dak now. Why wait? It's costing more and more. All that save money does nothing as we have no one in free agency to help us this year. Look, I don't know why they waited. Not even just Dak. Why'd you wait to pay CeeDee Lamb? You could have signed a running back and a defensive tackle and 2 like starting caliber guys with the money you saved by paying CeeDee Lamb now. They didn't do it. Why'd they wait? Couldn't tell you. Dak, I don't know why you waited. Now, it makes it easier to kind of structure the deal if you pay him now as opposed to next year. You also are able to roll over your unused cap space. It doesn't help you this year, but it'll help you out next year some. I don't know why they've waited. There's not a lot of good reasoning other than, oh, well, deadlines make deals. As if like they themselves can't just make the deal. Like the agents are down. The other players are signing deals, so why aren't you? Suspect that's a team issue there. We are here for our Cowboys playoff Madden simulation. Cowboys were the 1 seed. Packers were the 5 seed. The 6 and 7 seed lost. The Packers beat the Falcons. So it's Cowboys-Packers in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. After the Cowboys got the number 1 seed. Or exceeded expectations. I don't like this. I have a bad feeling. Because it's Niners-Lions. By the way, we'll pretend that like the schedule played out properly because I went ahead and simmed the other playoff game beyond this. I'll pretend the Cowboys were after the other matchup. You got to beat the Packers and beat the Niners to make it to the Super Bowl. Chris just went, and he's not wrong. So you got Madden loves the Cowboys, but the playoff curse is real. Someone said just to make sure the Cowboys don't change their D for this game. C or P? C for the Cowboys, P for the Packers. I felt great about beating the Commanders until they stopped moving the ball on offense. They've been so good against the Cowboys, but it could be 2016 all over again. And we'll see. Ecuador Man AOG, a $2 super chat, says, so sad to see Gelkin go. Yeah, I agree. That one stunk. He was really good on the beat. Like in terms of like your top Cowboys beat writers, not to get other people in trouble, but like when Gelkin broke something, like Gelkin showed up day 1 of the beat and was breaking stories, which like, is really hard to do as a reporter, like to show up and like get scoops immediately. I was really impressed by that. Of like breaking new stuff, got it for everybody else. That was really good. Did a great job there. Always had good information that ended up coming true. That's a pretty big loss for the Cowboys beat. There's still good beat writers, but Gelkin was damn good at what he did. That one stinks. Now, are you ready for us to start the show and for Cowboys training camp? If you are, show it by liking today's video right now. We did not get to the 50% like ratio before I asked for it for a free shot. We're not that far behind, only about 10, but we did not get there. So like that video if you haven't already done so. Coming up on today's live edition of the Cowboys Report, we'll break down some news and training camp tidbits. A lot of Stephen Jones comments I'm gonna rant about. A mailbag, 2 ways to get on the show. Hashtag Cowboys or Super Chat to skip the line altogether. A little mini Cowboys training camp preview and the divisional round playoff sim matchup between the Cowboys and the Packers. All coming up live here on the Cowboys Report. Some news that came just before we began today's live show. Report from the Dallas Morning News. Trevon Diggs is expected to open up training camp on the PUP, the physically unable to perform list for the Dallas Cowboys. Not unexpected. I think there was still harboring of some hope that maybe Diggs wouldn't have to begin on the PUP list. Hopefully this is the only player who's going to miss a little bit of camp to start. Background here, if you're on the PUP list, means you're not going to practice, but leaves it open for an IR to return soon if you need it. Doesn't sound like that's going to be the case. Sounds like Diggs will spend a week, maybe 2. Maybe he doesn't practice at all in Oxnard, does back in Frisco. But he's going to miss the start of training camp as he continues to recover from that ACL. Doesn't sound like any setbacks, just needs a little bit more time to get fully ramped up as we will continue to wait for Diggs' return. Probably means more chance for guys like Kalen Carson, Sean Wright, Eric Scott, a chance to work with the ones and showcase what they're able to do. Now, we're about to talk CeeDee Lamb on today's show. So do you want the Cowboys to pay the superstar wide receiver? I think every single person watching should. So spam me in the comments section right now. We are 24-ish hours away from the Cowboys showing up, and 48's like the reporting deadline. That's all estimated based on when you're watching there. There is still no deal with CeeDee Lamb, who is primed to hold out of Cowboys training camp without one. And I am very frustrated to be at this point because there's no reason for it. The Cowboys should have already gotten this deal done. This contract, frankly, shouldn't have been very hard. It should have been hard last year to get done. It's certainly not hard to get done right now. I get it's expensive, but this is what you get when you drag your feet and don't pay players who want top-of-the-market money early. You allow Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Justin Jefferson, and more to get paid first. It allows the market to be reset multiple times in multiple ways. The 3 highest paid wide receivers per year and the 3 highest paid guaranteed. All got paid this offseason. The agent wanted to wait some, sure, okay, well guess what? Those A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb are the same agent. So don't sit there and tell me, oh, agent's got to play ball. He did with one of his guys. Why not both? Like, what are you doing out there? If it's true that Lamb is just looking for a minimum $32 million per year, which is a very fair minimum for him to beat out A.J. Brown, do this contract. 4 years, $132, $101 guaranteed, $33 million per year. You got to bump that to $34? Fine. Who cares? Get it done. I do not want things to take a Brandon Ayuk turn. I don't want things to get messier than it already is. I don't want to be here next Monday, first story, Lamb's still holding out. I don't want to have a potential, hey, Lamb didn't get a deal done. He's now requested a trade, breaking news video. I do still think a deal gets done. I think the Cowboys and Lamb, most of the Cowboys go, okay, what are we doing? This is dumb. Let's pay our superstar wide receiver. Let's not have him miss time with QB1 at training camp. Let's get that deal done. I just don't know when that deal ends up getting done. So will a CeeDee Lamb deal get done before training camp? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comment section, the pinned comment of today's show. Now, the rest of today's show will focus on the Stephen Jones comments made with the Athletic and their Scoop City podcast, Diana Rossini, Chase Daniel. A lot of things are said about the contract situation. the overall gist, like the one quote that kind of sums it up was probably this one. These things just take time when you're talking about the amount of money involved. And of course, trying to play a little bit of Houdini, how to keep all these players around Dak, keep these players you were fortunate enough to draft. It's Steven speak, right? You got coach speak, that's Steven speak. Much of this was the usual refrain, the same old song and dance of, you want to pay him. It's a little complicated. Okay, get it done. I've got 3 things that I think were a little bit different and noteworthy about what Steven said we'll get to here. But first, today's show is made possible by our good friends over at Game Time. They got killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat with their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. That's NFL tickets, the Cowboys, or MLB tickets as the season begins to wind down. I am always a big fan of their zone deals, plus they've got flash deals and more. The zone deals, you pick the section, Game Time picks the seats for savings along the way. I like that you can take your phone and kind of use it as a live photo and turn it around and get a great view from your seat. And remember, the lowest price guarantee means Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference of your ticket. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Now, terms do apply, but create your account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets, the lowest price, all guaranteed, with the link and the promo code in the comments section and the description of today's show. A couple noteworthy takeaways I want to get to here. Number one was Steven saying he and Jerry have spoken with Dak personally. Not just had talks with his agent, but talks with the quarterback personally. Here's what Steven said on Dak. Our goal is to get him done. He knows that. We're having conversations with his agent, with Dak personally, both Jerry and myself. He knows our goal is to keep him here. He also understands the challenges, and you see what happens to him as they have to do these top-price quarterbacks at some point. It's a challenge to keep everybody. In the past, the reason why Dak hires Todd France is to let Todd France do the contract stuff. You hire the expert to do his expert job and get you the most money. That's how players and agents operate, right? Now, the Joneses at their core, specifically Jerry, they're salesmen. The art of the deal has been mastered by Jerry, right? They're very good at what they do when their goal is right. Let's put it that way, right? So if Steven is being honest, that's noteworthy. I think it might increase the chances of the deal because Jerry and Steven can put the sell on Dak. They did it with Tank Lawrence to an extent. It's kind of why things finally got sorted out there. It's why Des Bryant refused to talk to Jerry. Remember that story of Des was like, yeah, Jerry kind of got me cornered a little bit. And Jerry said, I'm not talking to you, Jerry, because I'll lose this deal. And maybe that does help the chances a little bit. I think it's still a little bit because it's all still a little bit passive, it sounds like. So will a Dak Prescott deal get done before the season? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Sound off for me in the comments section of today's show. One of the issues here is the matter of leverage. And if we're being honest, Cowboys don't have any leverage. They don't have any things they can do to say, Dak, we can do this if you don't sign. There's no franchise tag. There's a no trade clause. And even if Trey Lance is great, Dak goes, well, someone else will pay me. It kind of comes down to, Dak, do you still want to be a Cowboy and do you want to do us a favor? And the quarterback might say no. And then it's kind of, well, are you going to cave or no? And that's not a fun negotiating spot to be. And it all comes back to the first time they had to pay Dak. They didn't handle it properly, and they're kind of making the exact same mistakes the first time. Number two, I'm almost going from positive to least positive, by the way, is that Stephen Jones called the Jefferson deal inordinate. He was talking about how the Vikings paid Jefferson an inordinate contract. And the full quote we'll get to because it's part of the number 3 takeaway, and I'm going to rant about it. But that sounds alarm bells for me. Inordinate means excessive. It means that they overpaid Justin Jefferson. That they thought that was more than what he should have and was going to get. Which, by the way, I don't know if it really was relative to the markets and everything. So that actually concerns me. Because 35 is way too much. Not just a lot, but it's way too much. What are you offering CeeDee Lamb? I'm worried about that quote because there was that report from my guy Pretty Ricky that Jarrett Lamb was going to demand a trade if he didn't get at least $32 million offer. Well, if you think 35 is inordinate, maybe you're not trying to offer $32 million. So I am worried about that quote. That sounds off alarms in my head going, don't like that. Because this is a team that historically doesn't do a great job with the market. They consistently don't pay the top end to begin with, then they eventually cave. And they've made comments, they don't think they have to pay the market rate because they're the Cowboys. You're not special anymore, Steven. You ain't won shit in almost 30 years. You don't get the star boost like you used to. Not the same way anymore. So we'll see what happens. We will have Cowboys coverage for you right here on the channel. We are inching closer to beating our July subscriber number. Hit that sub button to help us get there, youtube.com/CowboysTV. My third takeaway is this. It is the return of what I have dubbed the pie lie, where Stephen Jones uses the salary cap to try to manipulate the contracts improperly and doesn't quite lay out the real cash spending that they don't spend. Here's what he said. I know the Vikings there with Jefferson when they made that inordinate deal at the receiver spot. They don't have one player on their team other than Jefferson making over $20 million. Of course, we have a big one in Dak, and we got Diggs right there, and you got Zach Martin and D-Law. So we got a lot of guys making quite a bit of money. It's no excuse. I think we can get this done. No, we can get it done, but it just takes time. Now, when I saw that quote, I was mad. I did not like that quote. It bothered me because it's just, at best, it's ignorant of what the salary situation actually looks like. And at worst, it's lying. And maybe in the middle ground, it's deceptive and disingenuous. Because Stephen did not accidentally pick 20 as a hypothetical number. He picked it to maximize the number, so to speak. Because guess what Jonathan Grenard makes per year? $19 million. So I set my min number to cut off everybody else I possibly could. By the way, Brian O'Neill makes 18.5. Hawkinson makes 16.5. You know what looks really freaking similar? Is what the Cowboys are paying players right now. Yes, Dak's at 40. We'll come back to that. Diggs does not make 20. Zach Martin does not make 20. Terrence Steele, Tank Lawrence, they do not make $20 million. So to act like you are paying more money than other teams is not true. You're not. There's really not a big difference between what the Vikings were doing, the Cowboys are doing. And oh, by the way, unlike Minnesota, one of those players is under contract next year and or cannot be cut. And that's Diggs. You're not going to cut Diggs. Steele can be cut. Tank, Martin, Dak, all free agents. So yes, other teams can only spend so much money, whatever. There is a salary cap. But if you're complaining about having to pay players when you're not paying anybody long term, that's a you problem. I'm not saying there aren't challenges. I'm not saying you got to do a lot of complicated cap gymnastics to make it all work. But other teams are doing this. Other teams are spending money on the open market. They're spending more cash than you are. And that is not what is going on in Dallas. Look what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing. They're paying Jalen Hurts more money than you're paying Dak Prescott. They're paying A.J. Brown $32 million, Vonta Smith $25, Jordan Mailata's at $22, Landon Dickerson, Lane Johnson are all over $20 million. More, you're complaining about, oh, I can't pay Lamb. The Eagles are doing that and more. And more. Steven said you only pay 5 to 6 guys if you're paying a top quarterback. You got to lose Biotish. No one cares. He wasn't that good anyway. 12 different players on the Eagles are making at least $10 million per year. That's 12 players. You're at 6. And the Eagles, by the way, huge dead cap numbers too. Other teams are spending more money than you are to maximize the same window you're trying to maximize. That is not a salary cap problem. That is a you problem. That is how you're spending your cash. You are putting yourself at a competitive disadvantage if you do not spend the same amount of cash as other teams do. Not every team spends pretty similar cap dollars. Not every team spends similar cash numbers. And when you're $100 million back over the 3 to 4 to 5 years against the Eagles, it's a lot of money. It's a big difference. And it makes it challenging to maximize your window when the goal is a Super Bowl. The goal is not to win 10 games every year. The goal is to win a championship. Cowboys do a great job of winning 10 games every year. I think you do too, you need more of that. All right, rant over. Chris says solid. It's all very frustrating at times. Get your questions in, #Cowboys or Super Chat to get on the show. We got Destroyer Dogs Super Chat we'll get to here in a little bit. White on Rice got somebody good. He got him good in the comments. It was clever. It was clever. It's a good one. I'm going to laugh. Seabass, I would just laugh too. Accept it. Happens to everybody. Happens to everybody. So use #Cowboys or Super Chat to get on the show. It's good. Seabass thought it was funny too. You signed Landon. Who? Land on these nuts. Seabass says that's cold. It's good. I liked it. All right, get your questions in. #Cowboys or Super Chat to get on the mailbag here. I'll be honest, I didn't know where he was going with Landon. I assumed he was going to do something Troy. I honestly wasn't expecting to land on these nuts, but it was good. All right, get your questions in. #Cowboys or Super Chat to get on the show. We got a super thanks to begin today's mailbag from CJ DeYoung III. He says, I asked, what Cowboy player do you miss? Kind of like the meme, it's just a player, but you miss them. Who do I miss? How about any of the Pro Bowlers from the 90s? Yeah. Aikman, Emmett, Michael, Larry, Primetime, all of them. Because, those guys won a lot and won in the playoffs, and that's what we all care about, understandably so. And I came in via super thanks. There's a feature here on the YouTube side of things. It's just like a super chat, but instead of live, it's on demand. Edit your message, send in whatever you want to send in. Just click that thanks icon to do it. We appreciate your support here. As I've said before, you can send in whatever you want, as long as it's not one of the isms. You know what I mean by that. And I'll put it on the show. I said you can put in Tom, you suck. And someone did Tom, you suck. It was really funny. That's how you do the super thanks here on YouTube. From Tyson Cates, I meant to ask a question, but not sent in as the super thanks for. He put in $2 and said thanks, then responded with a different comment. How about this scenario? You let that go. You trade CeeDee and Micah, get in return great O-line, D with an okay back, receivers, and QB thoughts. Look, it's a plan. I don't know if I want to commit to that plan without knowing what the goal is at quarterback and wide receiver. If you have a great O-line and a great defense and an okay running back, okay receivers, let's say the 16th or 17th best quarterback, Derek Carr-esque quarterback. Maybe not paying him that much money, but like a Derek Carr-esque QB. And your number one receiver is, I don't think who's the 16th? Michael Pittman. Is that going to be good enough? I don't know. I might be more willing to get on board with the let that go, pay CeeDee Lamb, trade Micah, and get assets for quarterback that way. But I think if you're letting that go, the goal should be to swing for the fence, whether it's this year or next year or 2026, on a better quarterback. I don't want to let that go and save $10 million and bring in Derek Carr, actual Derek Carr, That doesn't do it for me. I would rather swing for the fences on a first-round pick of QB. It's been a while since you've done that, and that's a path that has had success for other teams too. From Michael, Texans signing Cam Akers. Is that enough to raise an eyebrow on Dameon Pierce's availability? I think Akers is an indication he's available, or is this a low-risk depth move for Houston? If available, what's the price for Pierce? Great question, Michael, and it's actually one I thought about when the Texans signed him. My suspicion, what's up with Joe Mixon? Mixon's missed practice the last, as of filming on Monday, the last 2 days. I'm sure we'll be back soon. But something's up there. I would bet this is more of the low-risk depth move because Their other backs are Dario Ogunbowale, who's probably going to be a special teamer. 6th-round pick in Jawar Jordan, J.J. Taylor, British Brooks. Like, there's a scenario in which Akers is your vet number 3 or practice squatter. I think it gives the opportunity to move on more from Pierce if Akers plays great. I still don't know if he's available. If he were available, I got a lot of 5th-round picks. I've got a lot of assets I could potentially trade away there that I'd consider. So will the Cowboys trade for a running back? Y for yes, N for no in the comments of today's show. The pinned comment, actually, of today's show. Destroyer Dog, a $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Do you think the Joneses are going to end up being another Dan Snyder moment? I don't think so. I think that there's enough control and power, and I don't think so. I think also the other owners like Jerry. Maybe not so much Steven, but they like Jerry. They didn't always like Dan. So I'm going to go with no on that front. For Mark, another $5 super chat. JJ says he wants to sign Dak now. Well, why wait? It's costing more, and all that save money does nothing, as we have no one in free to help us this year. Doesn't help you this year. Same with why not paying Lamb before free agency began didn't help you. Because you're just going to roll it over. Right? Like they're going to have all that extra cap space. They're going to roll it over. I think they're going to deal done with Lamb still. And they'll save $10 million in cap space by doing it, and they'll roll it over to next year and carry it over. And complain about their dead money that they don't actually have to have if they handle their contracts properly or be aggressive and win now. So why wait? Deadlines make deals for this team. It's a bad way of doing business, but that's what they like to do. Leroy Pearson, what are your realistic hopes for the team in 2024? How about win a playoff game? Win one playoff game, because I don't think you're going to win the division, or if you do, you're not going to be the 1 seed, so you're going to be playing in the wild card round. Win a playoff game. That might not be enough to save several jobs, but you got worse from last year. Now, maybe year 2 of the offense, you're a bit more finely tuned. Maybe the O-line gets going. Maybe by the end of the year, you're a bit better than what you were at the end of last year. But I'm not putting like conference championship stuff in there. I'm putting Super Bowl in there. They're not good enough for that, I don't think. So I think you can win a playoff game. And if you do that, it is both a disappointing year overall, and I'll be like, you know what? They went farther than I thought they were going to. And that's still disappointing because of what you set yourself up to do this offseason. Today's Cowboys Report is made possible by our friends over at Rocket Money. So think about how much you think you're paying for subscriptions every month. The answer is probably a lot more than you think. 74% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about. I did. So I'll get charged for 2 different phone bills. Didn't make any sense to me. Forgot about it. Didn't realize it. Rocket Money saved me there. Thanks to Rocket Money, no longer wasting money on the stuff that I forgot about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills all in one place so that you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Rocket Money will even try to negotiate to lower your bills for you, sometimes by up to 20%. As you can see there, just submit a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money will take care of the rest. They will deal with the annoying customer service for you. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. That's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. It's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Roy Williams, if Dak walks in free agency, that's not the answer, should we trade for Matthew Stafford? So I think the Rams will probably get a deal done with Stafford there. My issue is this. They're going to trade for Matthew Stafford, give up massive assets for a quarterback who has 3 years left of peak prime play. He's 36 right now. I don't know if he's going to play until he's 40. Why would the Rams move on from Stafford too? Or do they have a different quarterback in there? So, like in a bubble, I think of like trying to do that, okay, sure. I get it. You're trying to add a good QB. I'm fine with that. If your goal is to win games now and you're trading away assets to get like a semi-similar quarterback, if we're being honest, and also paying him massive money, I don't know if that's really going to move the needle for you. Chris James, could the Cowboys trade Luke Schoonmaker or Peyton Hendershot? I think Schoonmaker's in not a great spot on this team, to be honest. I am worried about him. But the Cowboys almost never give up on rookie players that quickly. They never do it in injury year 2. They always give them more time. Hendershot, I don't think there's any trade value. He might get claimed off waivers if he's cut. Who's going to trade for him, though? So will the Cowboys make a trade? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Sound off in the comments of today's show. Tyler, when do you really see Dallas getting their franchise running back? 2024 class was deep. Dallas didn't do anything. Guys like Wright and Grendo wouldn't have cost much. Can you have a franchise running back anymore? I think I think like 10 years worth of time. And running backs don't do that much. Like, how about legit starting back next year's draft? Good class next year, too. 2023 class was deep as well. I'd have loved Jalen Wright, but Dallas just didn't want to do it. From Brian, will the Cowboys sign a defensive tackle? I hope so. I mean, we all have eyes, man. We have eyes. We can look at that room and go, that's not a good room. That's a bad room, guys. They did nothing. So I don't know when it's going to be, but they got to pay. They got to get bodies. Maybe they'll monitor the roster cut down time frame. Alexander Richard would trade Micah Parsons for 3 first-rounders. So I think you're kind of into like the make me an offer I can't refuse territory. Because 3 first-rounders doesn't happen. You're never going to get a Herschel Walker trade again. It's just not going to happen. Ignore it. It's impossible. But 3 firsts? That does interest me. It makes me think about it. Because if your plan is you want to get some cheap young assets, you don't want to pay Micah, you want to get a new quarterback, having 3 first-round picks, very valuable. You got to use those picks well, they typically do. So 3 is into the, you know what, maybe we can't say no to that deal conversation. I don't think you're going to get 3. I think someone will trade you 2. How many first-round picks is Micah Parsons worth? Sound off in the comments of today's show. Freddie Kenny, whether you believe in Dak or not, he's great in the huddle with no one in his ear. Maybe it's the OC. That's not necessarily a thing that's unique to Dak, by the way. There's a lot of quarterbacks that fit that mold. And I think part of it is, you go no huddle, it is more challenging on the defense. They don't have time to get their call in. They don't have time to adjust and situate. And the offense kind of dictates a little bit more. It's a good point, though, Freddie. It's also why he makes so many checks at the line, too. Ben Loving, where would you rank a returning Trevon Diggs and Deron Bland duo against the rest of the league? Diggs back to 100%. Aren't they at least top 5? If Deron Bland was a top 15 pick, we would be having, is Deron Bland the best corner in the NFL conversations? He'd be right alongside Pat Tan and Jair Alexander and Sauce Gardner. We'd be having those conversations, but he was a 6th-round pick. So it's perceived as a fluke, which it wasn't. He's been very good through his first couple seasons. Diggs is really good. I want to see him get healthy, but I think that's a really good quarterback duo. I think they're in the top 5 at minimum. Now, do you want to join us for future Cowboys mailbags? All you have to do is subscribe. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/CowboysTV. Colton Nickel, who is a more reasonable money-wise, Amari or Ayuk if a trade happened? Well, Ayuk wants 30, and Amari probably just wants to get 20-something. So it's Amari. Neither trade will happen. There is a 0% chance either of those guys, the Cowboys will trade the picks required, or I think even the teams that currently have them are going to trade them. It's just, the Amari idea is fun, but it's just not going to happen. If I were in charge, he would still be here. Kristen K, thoughts on drafting Ollie Gordon or Quinshon Junkins for the 2025 draft? A lot of good backs. Ashton Jeanty out of Boise State's a damn good football player. Trayvon Henderson's a good back. There's a lot of good backs in next year's class. There'll probably be 3, 4, 5 top 50, 60 grades on the consensus boards, so to speak. Ollie going to have to answer some off-field questions with the DUI arrest. You can't be getting a DUI under the age of 21, my guy. That's bad. That's real bad. And what Mike Gundy said was also pretty bad, too. I like Junkins a lot, too. It's a good class for a back. I think there will be one there. We are doing our Cowboys legend bit. It continues the rest of the preseason, offseason, etc. Name a Cowboys legend on the offensive line. Now, I got some good suggestions in here already. By the way, I did want to answer the why was the Cowboys press conference delayed. It was supposed to be Wednesday. Try to be live for it. It is now Saturday, and that is because Jerry Jones will not be in Oxnard to start. Because Daddy Jerry has got himself a paternity lawsuit that he's got to deal with. So he ain't going to be there for that. I guess not paternity lawsuit, but a lawsuit about paternity is probably the proper way to phrase it there.
You are the father.
He is the father. he's the daddy. We know that. So he's going to be a little bit busy. So he will not be there. But it's Jerry. He can't give up. He can't give up the mic. So it's on Saturday now, and I will not be live for it. So I've got men's club championship stuff. So I'm actually kind of pissed about that. But I already qualified. I shot 79-73, by the way. Shot 73. So I'm going to be like this, like 5th or like 5 to 7 seed, I think. So played great. Cowboys on the offensive lines. I see Ryan Cook in there. Who else you got? We need some suggestions in there. Andre Garrard, I feel like if you were a Pro Bowler, you can't get in. Other offensive linemen here. I think Mark Colombo's a little bit too good, too. Jason Peters is a good one. That's like, he's a fringe Hall of Famer, but like he briefly played for the Cowboys. Chaz Green's on there, too. And remember I made the comment like, oh, yeah, Mark, not Mark. Who was it? Pat McQuestain, however you pronounce it, was like in the NFL for like 16 years. Remember how bad Chaz Green was, everyone? Let me make sure I get my years right here. Chaz Green, after the Adrian Claiborne disaster class, in which he almost got Dak Prescott killed, because the coaching staff also set up for failure there, Chaz Green played in the NFL into 2021. He spent 6 years in the league with 6 teams. Yeah. How about that one? Yeah, pretty crazy. All right, here's today's super chat menu. $20 for a shot, $50 for the beer bong or tortilla slap. $100 to get all 3, the bong, slap, and shot combo. Save the $20, of course. $300, we get to go home early. Maybe we get to go home early and play even more CFB 25. So, got online dynasties to play, family to neglect, games to win. By the way, I am all the way through my body. I am an RPO merchant. I spam RPOs, but I'm also playing on Heisman, and if I move the ball downfield too much, it's getting picked. So like my A dot, I slandered again. I've made this comment before. I've slandered people like Bo Nix and Lane Kiffin in front of these fake ass offenses. My heat map is, line of scrimmage, bright red, 25 yards downfield, bright red, blue everywhere else. It is either I take check down or a touchdown to the extreme. That's all I do. But it works. It works for me. And also I run the shit out of the ball too. I am everything I hate about actual offenses. I hate it.
I love how you can actually run the ball in this game.
Yeah, you can run the ball. I can do
and you can't run the ball for shit.
Oh, I still can't play defense on Heisman. I get smoked.
I'm decent at defense. I'm terrible at
Dude,
offense. So.
They fucking hit me on comeback routes nonstop.
Yeah.
I play man, comeback route, corner going the wrong way. Zone, I found a soft spot. Where's the pressure? It's not there. Great. All right, I digress. That's the Super Chat menu for today's show. Coming up here on the Cowboys Report, a little Cowboys training camp preview and what to watch for this year. Cowboys, most of them travel out there on Tuesday. They report on Wednesday and practice on Thursday. The press conference that was supposed to be on Wednesday with the Jones boys and McCarthy has been delayed to Saturday because Jerry Jones has the lawsuit that he is having to testify for. So he will not be there to start training camp. Now, if you want more Cowboys training camp videos, simply like this one. Hit that like button, and we can continue to give you the great coverage that you guys want. So first thing, I'm kind of what to watch for, storylines, burning questions, whatever the hell you want to call it. Is CeeDee Lamb officially going to hold out? And I think the answer is yes. That is the expectation, that Lamb will not be present at the start of Cowboys training camp as he continues to wait and search for a new contract. I am frankly embarrassed it's at this point. This should have been done already. There's no reason that Lamb should not be present at the start of Cowboys training camp. It shouldn't be. Get it done. Pay him. Now, maybe there's even a scenario where, because Jerry's going to be delayed by a few days, he doesn't have to answer questions on it right away. It gives him a few more days to get the deal done. I don't like it. CeeDee Lamb should have been paid already. And it's frankly an embarrassment that he has not been. It's a damn shame. All right, next up are the Cowboys' injury statuses. A couple players we got to get to here. First up, Trevon Diggs is expected to begin the year on the PUP list. That's not technically finalized yet, but he's probably going to miss the start of camp. Nothing too concerning there. But there are other players I'm monitoring too. Not just are they on the PUP list, how much are they doing out there? Mozzie Smith coming off that offseason shoulder surgery. He's got to gain weight. What does he look like? Did he spend days at the Golden Corral? You've heard the fantasy punishment that you gotta stay at a Waffle House for 24 hours and eat a waffle to shave off an hour or whatever it is. How about you do it at Golden Corral, 24 hours at a Golden Corral? How about that? Osa, by the way, missed some time with hip injury at OTAs. Worth monitoring. Luke Schoonmaker is once again banged up. Is he going to be good to go? Because if Mozzie and Schoonmaker ain't out there, that's a red flag for me. Are they good? They need to be practicing. This is too important. They're young guys. They have to be out there. So are they going to be out there or not? Hendershot kind of tweaked his ankle a little bit. Is he going to be good to go? Then the three guys that got hurt last year at camp, Overshone, Stevens, David Durden. I think those guys are going to be good to go, but I just want to see them not begin the year on the PUP list. So Trevon Diggs is going to be one. How many Cowboys start on the PUP NFI list? I don't think there'll be many NFI players. Should all be PUP list, but we'll see what happens there. It's the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. I think the over-under might be 1.5. Might be anybody beyond Diggs or not. And when it comes to Diggs, I'm fine being patient and cautious there. I don't mind giving him an extra week, 2 weeks, whatever. It should be okay. I do need Mozzie Smith out there on day one. I can't have a terrible defensive tackle room not have a first-round pick from a year ago being good to go. Get his weight up. Get him going. He has to contribute. I need a breakout too much. It's too important to have something come from Mozzie Smith, especially when you have a brand new defense. And that's note number 3 here. How does this new defense look under Mike Zimmer? How much base are they really going to run? And by base, I mean 3 linebackers, or heavy as I call it, because not many teams use base these days. Mike Zimmer's in charge now. This defense will be different. It probably won't be as turnover happy, might not be as got beat bad for a big play happy either. What changes is Zimmer really going to make? He does value fatties only. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I think I was actually just influenced by watching Zimmer defenses growing up, because I always like double A gap blitzes. I like big boys in the middle. Well, so does Mike Zimmer. Are those changes going to work? And much like I said last year with Mike Zimmer taking over for Kellen Moore, there is a chance that this is worse. And there is a chance that the regular season is worse. But if the big games and the playoffs are better, who cares? I'll take away, I'll lower, or in this case, increase the average points allowed if it's not 45 to San Francisco. That number drops to 25. That's a lot better. I'll allow 7 more points a game as long as I still win those other ones. That's fine. So what the changes Zimmer makes going to play a big impact on this team, because defensively, that's kind of like the only upgrade that they made, even potential upgrade that they made. Today's show is made possible by Game Time. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets to your next big event. That's MLB, that's baseball, that's basketball, that's the NFL, that's the Cowboys, that's concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Game Time has you covered. You can get last-minute deals. There's flash deals. There's zone deals, all kinds of options for you. By the way, tickets typically drop in price closer to the event. Game Time keeps covered with what the Game Time guarantee. It's their lowest price guarantee. You find tickets in the same section and row for less. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets for the MLB, for the Cowboys, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But create your account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Download Game Time today for last-minute tickets. The lowest price, all guaranteed. Next up is Trey Lance. And maybe even somewhat under the radar, I would argue there might be more time devoted to answering questions, watching, discussing, whatever metric we want to use to measure, of Trey Lance about conversation compared to Dak Prescott. There's a lot riding on this camp for Trey Lance. Because the Cowboys, maybe he could be a long-term piece for you. Is he going to be on our roster next year? Is anyone going to want him next year? You know, we know Cooper Rush is a good backup. He's fine. We know Dak Prescott is the top 10 quarterback. It's all about the postseason. You cannot win the playoffs in August. It's not possible. You can lose it. You can't win it. Trey Lance, well, what the hell is he? We still don't know. Is he a starter? Is he a backup? Does he have to go to the CFL? I suspect that Lance will be inconsistent in camp. It's kind of what it was at OTAs. They'll say all the right things about him. And you're probably going to want to listen to certain people who are out there watching Lance play at practice who got good eyes, broadest belt, Outlaw Nation, etc. Like, those guys will give you the insight. Owning, McCool, etc. They'll give you good insight. And of course, then preseason. Camp might matter a little bit more because he'll get reps with the ones, I suspect. So will Trey Lance win the QB2 job in Dallas? Y for yes, N for no. 5, A, B, C, D, and E. Position battles. First up is left tackle. This should be Tyler Guyton. And when I say should, I mean what I want it to be, not what I think it will be. I think there's a very real chance Amendola comes out there week 1 and he's your starting left tackle. I think he will be your starting left tackle day 1 of training camp. I think that's a mistake. I think it's borderline malpractice. The point of having the veteran over the raw young guy is that the veteran, he might not be as physically gifted. He might not be able to handle things at the top end level where the young guy will be able to. But he's not going to make the dumb mistake. Well, guess what? I watched Amendola make a lot of dumb mistakes last season. That Dolphins game should have got him kicked out of the NFL. It just not blocking anybody. Totally blown assignments. Guyton might have some of those moments. But if Adola's going to have him also, play the first-round pick. We can't sit up there as a franchise and go, hey, we draft and develop. That's why we didn't re-sign anybody. We have young guys that'll play. And then not play the young guys. Needs to be Guyton. I don't care if he's raw. I don't care if he needs time. Work through the kinks on the field. Because you can't put Adoga out there. Yeah, Tyron Smith, that's fine. If you had re-signed Tyron Smith, no problems. But you didn't. So pick a left tackle for me. CE for Chuma Adoga. TG for Tyler Guyton. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Left tackle, CE Adoga. TG for Tyler Guyton. Next up is the running back room. And I just want to see what the rotation looks like. I think it's going to be Zeke and Dowdle at the front, maybe in that order, maybe not. I want to see what that rotation looks like. And not only that, like how do the other guys look? Like every spot is kind of open for grabs in a way. Like everything's open for grabs. Who's the starter? Who's the number 2 back? Who's the 3 back? Is there a 4th back? Who's the 3? Who's the 4? That's all up for grabs and for battle. I'd like to see somebody make some big plays. I want to see how Deuce Vaughn is deployed. That entire running back room is going to get a lot of looks. Next up is wide receiver number 3. And this is really just probably a 2-man battle. It's Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks. Turpin's going to have his role, but I don't think it's going to be a huge role beyond some gadgety stuff. You know, other young players, Ryan Flournoy, David Durden, Jalen Cropper, Tyron Billy Johnson, probably not going to be instant impact guys or high-end players, but they'll flash. Somebody will impress at training camp. It happens every year at wide receiver. John Vay Johnson. Remember that hype? It happens every year. Who's it going to be this year? We'll find out. Now, if you want daily Dallas Cowboys videos, all for free, then subscribe. It really is that simple. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. I did mention this earlier, so I won't go as in-depth on it. It is this defensive tackle room. It's bad, guys. We can be honest about it. You've got a good, not great, 3-technique in Osa Odigizua, a complete unknown of a first-round pick in Mozzie Smith. You've got undrafted free agent Denzel Dax, who's going to be a practice squatter. Veteran who was not that good, Carl Davis from last year. 7th-round pick Justin Rogers. So I think could be a good plugger, but he's just a run stopper with really no pass rush upside. And then you got these defensive tackle, defensive end hybrids that are kind of tweeners. Chauncey Golston, Junior Fehoko, maybe Marshawn Nealon kicks down some inside there. You are an Osa Odigizua injury away from having the worst defensive line room in the NFL. That can't happen. They got to figure something out there. Finally, it's the linebackers. I thought about safety here too, like who's going to Wilson versus Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell, but I want to see how they are deployed in the base personnel, right? You know, Overshown had said it was going to be Eric Kendricks at the mic. Duh, that's obvious. Overshown at the weak side linebacker. Clark at strong side when they're in 3-down linebacker packages, but I don't love Clark as a strong side linebacker. I think he's kind of more of a weak side linebacker. Leofau, I think, will kind of get work all over. I think you'll see some Micah Parsons Sam reps. And that might be as like a 4-3 over or a 4-3 under where, at that point, it's really 4-3 over in this case. At that point, Micah's playing stand-up pass rusher, and that's not really a different role for him. But it gets you that 5-man front that I like. It's a version of the Bear front that Dan Quinn was running some last season. The linebacking room, I think, can be a little bit better this year because Overshown's healthy and they got Kendricks. But they needed to be better because that was a big issue, I think, at times last year. Before we get to the next, I should say, maybe final, hopefully not final, Madden Sim, it's the divisional round. Here's today's Super Chat menu. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap, $100 for the bong, slap, and shot combo, $300, we get to go home early for CFB at 25. We'll get to the sim here momentarily, but first from Ecuador Man AOG, bigger bust, Kelvin Joseph or Fatties Only? Fatties Only still has hope. Maybe Mozzie Smith doesn't suck. Justin Rogers is a backdoor qualification guy for Fatties Only, but Fatties Only is on the brink. If it doesn't work this year, might go down as the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life. But for now, it is still Kelvin Joseph. It's a very fair question, though. It is time for the first playoff sim of our Cowboys Madden Sim season, and it's against the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. How about this? Cowboys get the number 1 seed, hopes are high, and they get to play the Packers at home in a divisional round game. Haven't we heard this before? Who you got? C for the Cowboys, P for the Packers. I still have nightmares from last year's playoff game dancing in my head, so I am nervous as much as I can be for a fictional video game that doesn't actually matter all that much. The Cowboys were the 1 seed. The Rams lost to the 49ers. No huge surprise there. Lions beat Philadelphia. Yeah, Eagles lost their final 2 games of the season and dropped from the 5 seed to the 6 seed. So that kind of put them out. The Packers then maybe not upset, but they beat the Falcons on the road. So now it's Cowboys against the Packers. I will say, I did the other sims for the other games involved. If the Cowboys win, they get San Francisco, which I think we kind of knew was going to end up happening there. So in real life, as we start today's sim, will the Cowboys win a playoff game? Y for yes, N for no. Get those comments in for me in the comments section. Will they win a playoff game? Y or N? The Cowboys, as Zeno points out, when they don't play the Niners or Packers, they are a great playoff team. They just keep losing to those teams. There's been some other losses too, but still. Divisional round and Packers, the 2 biggest weaknesses. It's probably still the 49ers to me. But I as we get your votes in for will they win a playoff game, I think it's also, I would argue in general, you get a bye, you should get a playoff win added to your resume. It should count. Because the Cowboys, as with this, didn't have to play the Bears. Like, they would have beaten the Bears. So I wish those would count for your resume, especially when we're in such a wins era. You were so good, you didn't have to play a worse team in the postseason. That should count for it. So playoff football time here. There's Madden Mike. By the way, if they lose this game, fire Mike has to go. He cannot stay. We do this next year. It has to be a new coach. I normally skip this. I guess I didn't. I guess I forgot to skip that. So that's on me. I normally skip all the BS crap in there. All right, Packers, Cowboys, playoff, and that adds to the suspense, I guess. You know, Turpin back deep for the return. Ball at the 35. Kick is away. Divisional round. Winner goes the conference championship game. Turpin from his own 8 gets the 25 and taken down from behind at about the 30. The playoffs, the regular season stats this year for Dak Prescott, by the way, 76.1% completion rate, 3,336 yards, 28 TDs, 6 INTs, still like 1 pick in like the last 3 weeks. Since like week 3, because he had like 4 picks to open up the year early on. He has not thrown many picks since then. I pray to God, and I have no idea what happened, so I just didn't give it the announcer's curse. I guess I can't because I already simmed it, but Prescott, downfield, got a man and caught. A gain of 20 to Jake Ferguson to midfield. Big pickups there for the Cowboys as Prescott finds Ferguson on a little corner route. And now it is 1st and 10, technically just shy of midfield. 2 tight end package. Prescott, handoff to Dowdle. Dowdle's loose to the 40 and gets hit hard and pushed forward to the 36-yard line. Type in those ones. 2 great opening plays for the Cowboys on offense. A gain of about 14 for Rico, preceded by a gain of 20 from Dak to Ferguson. Offense looking sharp so far. Can they get over the slow start curse? Prescott, handoff to Dowdle, and Dowdle's going to... They gave him a yard there? How? He did not get back to the line of scrimmage. It was a 2-yard loss. They put it back at the 36-yard line. There's no way that's right. That's ridiculous. Bad spot by the officials. Benefit the Cowboys. Prescott, play action. Oh, what are you doing, Dak, you idiot? You cannot roll left. You got to step up or roll right. They did the Dak injury animation too. That's a bad sign. That's not Guyton's fault. That is all on Prescott. He's also running like this. Like, why would you? 3rd and 20. Madden Dak with a disaster class mistake. It's like only like 4 QBs actually drift in the pocket like that. Like none of them really do it. Now on the outside of field goal range, Prescott, empty personnel, has all day, downfield, got a man, it's Lamb! Inside the 15! Just when I think Madden Dak can't be any dumber, you go and do that and totally redeem yourself. A gain of 32, I think. Dak to Lamb, wide open downfield. Gets it to about the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 Cowboys. 4:05 to go here. Deuce Vaughn to the left of Prescott in the shotgun. Trips right. Dak is looking. Over the middle. Caught by Lamb and hit hard, but picks up 7. So Prescott, despite a bad sack, redeemed himself on 3rd and 20. Now it's 2nd and 3 from the 7. Dak going to go empty here. Do not take a sack. Prescott throws, and it's picked off! And going the other way! It might be a 90-yard pick six, it's going to be! It's even worse than real life! It's even worse than real life. Keyshawn Nixon. Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, right to Nixon. If Nixon's not there, it's a touchdown, but he's right there. Like a 95-yard pick six. Oh my God. It's even worse than real life. I don't know why Tolbert's acting like he's mad at Lamb. Lamb should be mad. Oh my God. Extra point is up and good. Azteca says Mad Mechanics strike again. And Madman says Madden Dak needed a lead there. Great camera work, EA. Great camera work. That's one of those, like, in real life, we'd say that Dak thought they were in man and they were actually in zone. Because Nixon, like, never moved. He just stood there. Chris, I don't like this. This is bad. Mark says, Tom, you were spot on. Jerry Jones, a flat-out moron. Appreciate that, Mark. That was a moronic throw from Madden Dak. The slow start curse continues. If this were real life, I would not be smiling. I would just be so mad. Turpin will kneel it on that kick. So 3:20 to go in the first quarter, following a 95-yard pick six. Yeah, Azteca said the same thing. That's how Jair beat Cooks with the interception. Very similar, except Nixon was kind of just like already there. But it's the same like slant that the corner beat the receiver to. 1st and 10, 3 tight ends. What the hell was that? Prescott found Rico down. The lineman is 5 yards in the backfield. Oh boy. This is the wheels are falling off. Mark, you think Jerry Jones trying to mess up to bring in Belichick in a high pick? I don't get what his plan is. It makes no sense. It's not the plan to bring in Belichick and give him a high pick. He doesn't want to rebuild. Belichick's old. He wants to win now. Prescott under pressure again, going to go down. That's a sack on the QB too, by the way. That's not on the offense line. That ball's got to get out. Now, Tyler Smith did get work, to be fair, but that ball's got to be out quicker. I don't know what the plan is either, Mark. Feels like a real-life Cowboys playoff game. Oh God, they're flustered. They got the question, the exclamation sticker because they don't know what the read is. It's gonna be picked again. Prescott avoiding pressure and just throws it away. Do that on 2nd down, Dak. I don't think anything went right on that drive. You had a terrible run play where the tackle gets pushed back into Dak's lap. Maybe not great pass protection, but Dak held the ball too long, and then just nobody open on 3rd and forever, and pressure. This is a real-life playoff game, folks. Punt is away from the 38, taken and by Nixon, gets to the 49. A little Skitter's going to get 2 returns there. Well, your offense has been terrible to start, so the defense has to do something here. You know what I'm worried about, Chris? Josh Jacobs. Because in the Madden Sims all year long, they have run the ball with great success. But the opposing team has always fallen behind. Kind of like real life for the Cowboys defense. And it's going to happen all over again. Love under center. Handoff to Jacobs. Jacobs gets taken down for a gain of 5. Kind of a big backside play by Tank Lawrence there. He might have been able to get some more yardage. 2nd and 5. We are inside of 2 to go in the first quarter, by the way. Play action pass for Love. They torched the Cowboys with this last year. Oh, almost picked. Jordan Lewis broke it up. He needed that one. Mark says, what I mean is you sort of tank, bring in Bill with a high pick, and ton of cash to fill in the blanks via Bill. You get rid of Coach Tubby. But you could have done that this past year and made cash and had a pick and had a quarterback that Bill Belichick likes. Bill loves Dak. I don't know if he wants to rebuild. I think he would have taken the Cowboys job this year that They said no. 3rd and 5 and felt like a weird teleportation catch there, but it's a first down for Green Bay. Oh, that Lewis pick could have meant a lot. And even here, you had such bad field position on defense that selling to a field goal would feel like a win. 1st and 10. Love drops back, throws wide open over the middle. A gain of 15 to Romeo Doubs. Or Dobbs. Brutal. Inside of a minute to go, 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Loving the shotgun. Handoff to Jacobs, wide open hole, and he picks up 14 or 13. Just a gaping hole up the middle. Massive hole. We are winding down the first quarter. It's 7-0 Green Bay. Motion from I-form set. Play action pass. Love got a man in the flat. Looking, throwing, finds him in the flat finally. Picks up 6. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Cowboys down 7-0. And the Packers knocking on the goal line here. $5 super chat from Mark. I think the new run game scheme hurt our running game. Pollard's a good, not great back. Zeep is a step down for Pollard. That will hurt Dak. Your thoughts? Probably. Hopefully the players and the scheme get tweaked this year and it's better, but Zeke is a step down for Pollard. Absolutely. 2nd and 4. Fullback dive into the end zone. Green Bay is so disrespectful. They just gave a tight end in Tyler Davis a handoff and he scored. It's 14-0. The Packers trail Green Bay. Or Packers lead Dallas. I mean, a tight end is getting a 4-yard handoff for a touchdown here. It's not good, Chris. It's not good. Do the Fanatics read soon, too. Extra point is up. And after a year of just unrealistic outcomes, kind of feels like Madden is getting realistic in the playoffs for the Cowboys. You can get the Cowboys turnover chain, which so far only Green Bay's got to bust it out with the Dak Prescott 95-yard pick 6. Get yours today over at chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. All right, offense has to go get points here. Have to do it. You got to get 7 points each drive, and your defense has to make some plays too. Because once again, in the postseason, you started really slowly, and set yourself up for failure. Kick is away. Turpin from 2 yards deep in his own end zone will make a man miss, but only get to about the 21, 22-yard line. All right. Wake up. Being honest, if it wasn't for the 3rd and 20 big play from Lamb, the offense has not done very much. They had two big plays. That's kind of it. 1st and 10. God, they're flustered. They got the little star or the little exclamation point thing. No momentum. Prescott downfield. Got a man. It's Cooks. And Cooks gets past the 35 for a first down. All right. Big play there. Got to have a long, not even a long drive, a touchdown drive here. 2 tight ends right. Handoff loses 4 yards. They're going to say a loss of 2. I don't know how. But, God, this really feels like a playoff game where who's played well? Lamb. Ferguson. 2 players have shown up. 2nd and 12, and it really should be more than 12. That was kind of a generous spot. Trips right. Prescott looking. Seam shot. Caught by Cooks. No, he dropped it. Oh, my God. It's just like real life. Everyone sucks in the playoffs. This is so traumatic for me. 3rd and 12. Prescott dancing in the pocket and throws it away, defying physics. It's just like real life. They suck in the playoffs. This is not fun for me. I'm laughing to hide the pain. Worst part is Madden doesn't even know it's the playoffs because it's just play now. Punt is away. It's a great punt to the 22 and almost a late hit by somebody who didn't stop. All right. Defense has to get a stop here. They have to do it. It's happening again if they go up 21-0. I almost thought about lying and said, "Oh no, the Falcons won," to not have to play the Green Bay, but that felt like cheating, so I didn't do it. Love play action pass, just throws a dart for a gain of 7 to Luke Musgrave. Someone do a $50 super chat so I can do a beer bong and make the pain go away. 2nd and 3. Love over the middle. Incomplete. 3rd down. Type in those 3s. You got to get a stop here. I need Micah to show up and make a play against Green Bay. 3rd and 3. Type in those stops. Or 3s, I guess, to get the stop. Isaiah wants an INT. God, that'd be huge. If they score again, just turn it off, Tom. I already simmed and recorded it. This is all we have. Love. Oh, it's a first down. And a stiff arm for good measure. Entrepreneur, a $5 super chat. In real life, why were Green Bay's receivers more open than the Cowboys' receivers? Scheme matters, especially in the postseason. And Matt LaFleur's scheme better than Mike McCarthy's scheme. There you go. LaFleur's a damn good coach. Got a really good scheme. And I've said it before too. When the Cowboys aren't playing well, it's wide open opposing player. Tight coverage could be almost caught for the Cowboys. How was that not picked? How was that not picked by Damone Clark? He was right there, and Musgrave makes the catch for a gain of 9. How did Damone Clark not pick that off? Game might be rigged, man. 2nd and 1. Here comes a handoff up the middle. No, it's an RPO. Play action. 1st down. Musgrave is cooking right now. First and 10. God, Packers about to go on like an 80-yard scoring drive here. Love RPO slant caught 1st down. $2:50 to go in the half, by the way. Love. Downfield. Oh, look, he's wide open again. You know this half's gonna end, right? They're gonna get a touchdown. Cowboys gonna get the ball back, and they're going to dilly-daddle and kill time and not get settle for like a field goal or some shit. Like that's what's gonna happen. I can feel it in my bones. Gonna have Madden in real life Mike clock management here. Packers, Love, drops back, swing pass, caught for a gain of 2. Overshown in on that tackle. 2nd and 8. That should take... Alex is going to give back those PTO days. For what? That was for CFB 25. I don't control this. I mean, we did already take them. I sim the games. I go to bed and I sim them is what I do. So I play CFB 25 and I sim the game. 2nd and 8. 2-minute warning. Love pumps. End zone. And he's just wide open. It's just like real life. There's PTSD everywhere. I have to put a trigger alert or a trigger warning on this video when it goes out. Trigger alert. Defense is not showing up. Offense ain't showing up. All that's left now is a fumble on a kickoff or a missed field goal, and the whole team fails again. Jesus. Maybe Madden is realistic. Option for $5. In that case, you say that the scheme play calling put Dak and the offense in a bad position. Yeah, the execution gets blamed too, to be clear. But, especially in that Packers game, which we're seeing again live right now, everything went bad. So everything should get blamed. How it goes. Turpin will bring it out from his deep in his own end zone and gets to about the 25. So 1:54, all 3 timeouts as art imitates life. We're going to have like the real life convos we had in this Packers-Cowboys game last year of like, is it Dak's? It's defense fault. It's Dak's fault when it was actually everything. Right now in this game, Dak threw a bad pick 6. Defense is 0 stops again. We're doing it all over again. They're flustered on offense still. Prescott drops back, slant, caught by Lamb, is going to get 7. Now you got to go tempo here. By the way, Dak's had a drop and a pick so far. Drop on 3rd down was bad too. 2nd and 3. They will go no huddle. You need a touchdown here, man. Prescott over the middle, caught by Lamb. 1st down, past the 45. Clock will tick. Use that timeout here, or you hold it for a little bit, still go tempo. Gotta go. Gotta go. Why aren't you going, Matt and Mike? Oh, there's the no huddle. Dak in the shotgun. Drops back, looking, throwing. Incomplete. He missed Cooks. 2nd and 10. Inside of a minute to go. Ball at the 47. I swear to God, if they get off 2 plays inside of 30 seconds, I'm going to lose my mind again. I really am. They're getting their asses kicked. They're an 82. Green Bay's a 79, by the way. Dak downfield. Got a man. Caught by Cooks. Call a timeout. Call a timeout. What are you doing? You are inside of 50 seconds. You have 3 timeouts, and they're going to let a good 20 seconds come off the clock here. They're going under center with a fullback inside of 40 seconds. Incomplete. Now there's 32 seconds left. That is such a... God, that's so dumb. Why would you ever go offset I? What are we, Army? Is this the Army-Navy game? Why didn't you call a timeout there? Now it's 2nd and 10. Instead of 50 seconds, there's 32 seconds. Prescott, it's a screen, finds Dowdle. Dowdle going to get stopped short of the first down. They call timeout. 27 seconds left. Got to get to the edge faster. That's where you miss having some juice at running back. It is on all Madden, Eric. Is on all Madden difficulty. 3rd and 2. Empty. Just do a screen. 4 guys versus 2. Prescott, off balance, got a man, caught by Cooks, who's hit hard. Timeout, Dallas. 21 seconds left, 1st and 10. If they get one playoff, I swear to God, I am going to lose it. "21 seconds left. Shotgun set for the Cowboys. Prescott, it's a blitz coming. Off balance, fine. They're going to get one playoff. They're not even going to get to the line of scrimmage. Although the clock has stopped for some reason. He dropped it. That's why he dropped it. Maybe for the best there, honestly. Maybe for the best that ball was dropped by Cooks. 2nd and 10. Prescott, over the middle, caught. Got to go spike. And they're not going to get a playoff. That's going to be the final play of the half. Because they mismanaged the clock again. Call timeout with 4 seconds left, so there will be 2 left and a chance for a kickoff. Great. Yeah, Law, we're getting blown out again. In the interest of integrity, I wanted to do just one sim, and this is what's happened. Nobody look, okay? Nobody look. It's PTSD trigger warning city. Aubrey's field goal is good. And see, there's still 2 seconds left because Madden is so dumb they call their timeouts at the wrong time. They call it with enough time left to not... This were real life and they take the kickback, I would literally rage quit and we'd start over. But I already simmed and recorded it. There's nothing I can do. Now, by the way, Green Bay gets the ball to start. So that's good. Kick is away. And Nixon's going to get a chance to return it. No chance to the 20. All right. Halftime. As art imitates life again, Dallas getting their butts kicked. It really is almost the same damn game from 7 years ago, from 7 months ago. Here's our super chat menu: $20 for a shot, 50 for the beer bond or tortilla slap, 100 for all 3, 300. We get to go home early and play more CFP 25, which I might need to drink at home no matter what. Hey, look there, go to it. There's your trigger warning for the Dak 95-yard pick six. Threw it right to Keyshawn Nixon. They ran double slants, and the corner was sitting on it, just like real life. All right, Packers ball. Sip some water. Oh, boy, this is a nightmare, Chris. Should have not having a good time. I guess not as bad of a time as having 7 months ago, but you know how it is. All right. $21-3, Packers up over Dallas. Green Bay gets the ball to start the second half of the playoff matchup. Cowboys go 14-3 in the regular season sims, and they're down 21-3. Brutal. Why is TJ Slayton out there on kick coverage for Green Bay? He's like 330 pounds. Jesus. Kick is away. And not a good return. Israel Mukuamu makes the tackle. Defense has to get a stop here. You go behind 28-3 with 6-minute quarters, we can say goodnight. They are not going to win the game. Which I don't think they're going to win the game here either. But your defense has 0 stops today. They got to get something. What happens on this game? TD, FG, TO, or P? Turnover, field goal, touchdown, or punt? Love drops back to pass. Flushed, throwing, and diving catches made. It's just unbelievable. Christian Watson lays out and makes a diving catch. Boy. 1st and 10. Play action for Watson, who gets behind Jordan Lewis and picks up 20-ish. Good Lord. I mean, just right by Jordan Lewis. Christian Watson cooking the Cowboys. I've seen that many times before. I guess one time before. 21-3. Play action pass for Love, wide open, drag route, caught for a gain of 5. We don't wife these 304s. Who's worse, Kimberly Martin or Joy Taylor? You know, when Kimberly Martin's just doing like her writing stuff, she's fine. I got no issues there. But it's the first take culture of having to be hot takey. And I hate it. And Joy Taylor is female Shady McCoy, so her. 2nd and 5. Love drops back to pass. I mean, he's just wide open. There's no one near him. Maybe the game's different if you don't throw a 95-yard pick six on your first drive. But even then, I don't know if it would have been. Because best case, it's what? They probably get 7 on their next drive anyway. 21-10, you're in it? Jacobs up the middle, picks up 8. Yeah. Might have to super sim this. Which I've done many a time in CFP 25. We're all online at night playing, and we go, damn it, I'm super simming. What's the score? I'm down 21 in the first quarter. Super sim. Let's get out of here and go home. 2nd and 2. Love barking out signals. Drops back. Out route, wide open, Musgrave. Yeah, he's got 5 for 51 today. First and 10. From the 13, sorry. Stretch left, Jacobs breaks a tackle, tripped up. I thought that was for sure a touchdown. Instead, it's only 6. You know, Alex F. is right. MG has not been here the last 2 games, and the Cowboys have lost. It's a good point, Alex. Ecuador man says deja vu, wide open Musgrave. Yep. I-form set. Almost blown up in the backfield by Tank Lawrence. They keep him to a gain of 1. Big 3rd and 3 coming up. If I were Green Bay, Chris, I'd go run. I'd do halfback dive 2 times in a row. Because I think they'll get on the first one, frankly. If not, they'll get on the second one. Your box is too light. Look at it. That's not enough people up front. It's a pass play. Musgrave is wide open, and he's down at the 1. I think he was in. I think he scored, but they'll mark him a yard shy, and all that's going to do is shave off more time off the clock. This has been a 4-minute opening drive. Are they going to give it to the tight end again and give him 2 touchdowns on the day? Nope. Jacobs right up the gut. It's just like real life, folks. Dallas playing Green Bay in a playoff game and getting their asses kicked. TMZ says put in Trey Lance. We can't play Trey Lance. He was awful against the Commanders. We can't play him. He sucks. He threw 2 picks. He threw like 2 pick sixes, basically. They were up 10-0 in that game and lost. Solely because of Lance. Defense played great. Just like real life Cowboys. I mean, they're not coming back in this game. There's no chance. The live spread is off the books. You cannot bet on it. Oh, TMZ says they're tired, Tom. We sat them in week 18. They're not tired. This is the divisional round matchup, and the Cowboys, by far, their worst performance of the year, as Turpin gets to the 20 on the return. I guess it's realistic, and that playoff loss just hits you right in the gut. Maybe it is the rust, Ecuador, man. Maybe it is the rust. But they were tired last year, so we didn't have them be tired this year. All right, well, you have to throw it a lot. There's no way around it. You have to start chucking it. Or, hand it off for a gain of 1. That's fine too. That's fine, I guess. Just trying to bleed the clock, yeah. Put it on chew clock. I guess not. 2nd and 9. Prescott, hand off to Dowdle. Why are you running the football? It really is just like real life. Now you got stupid play calls in here. You're down 25 with a minute to go in the third. You gotta start throwing it, guys. Jesus. And now they're going to go empty. Prescott, all day, tucking, running, and stiff arms for a first down. Technically, it's the second round. We the best music. This is the divisional round. They got the bye in the wild card, but one and done. They better not run the ball. Why are they going I form again? You're down by... Prescott out route, caught by Lamb. I mean, keep picking up 5 yards at a time, guys. It's great. It's great. Probably the final play of the third quarter. They might get one more play here, which they need to get, frankly. They need to save that time. They'll go shotgun, 2nd and 5 here. Play clock down to 4, or game clock, I guess. 3. They snap it. Okay, they got a play off there. Prescott, dragged to Lamb, caught. First down to the 46. All right, last call on the Super Chat menu. I'll do 2 for 1 if it's a shot or a beer bong to help put the pain away. $20 for 2 shots, $50 for 2 beer bongs. $100 you get all 3, or I'll do 2 bongs and 2 shots for $100 each. Fair. And $300, we get to go home early and losing on Heisman and CFB 25. 28-3, fourth quarter of a blowout. 5 minutes to go. It is real life all over again, man. Just getting blown out in a playoff game. Got to start pushing the ball downfield on offense. Prescott, play action. Seam shot, great catch made by Tolbert. If we get one thing from Madden, we need Madden Tolbert in real life. He's actually been really, really good this year. 1st and 10. I form, offset I. Why? Why are you running the ball? Like they're not even trying to win. Run the ball. Down by 25. Let's run the ball with 6 minutes to go in the ball game. You got to throw it. Jesus. Prescott looking, throwing a strike to the 5, caught by Cooks down at the 3. All right, you got to score quickly here. You should be in no huddle all the time at this point. Ooh, they're showing blitz with the safeties coming up here. Looks like zone because there's no one on Cooks. Prescott, I don't even know what that was. Was that supposed to be a draw? Because Cooks, like no one ran a route. Why are you running a draw? Throw the fucking football. All you're doing is taking more time off the clock. Oh, you're going 3 tight ends? Prescott fakes the handoff to nobody, finds Schoonmaker, who picks up 4. Hooray. What are they doing? Oh, sorry, Hendershot, as if that's better. The play calling sucks. The offense sucks. Defense sucks. They're terrible. Under center. Got a big gap on the right if you actually want to try to run the ball. Nope. Prescott. End zone. Caught. Touchdown by CeeDee Lamb. Hooray. Cowboys hit a dagger 3 to cut the lead to 40. Kick is up and good. So onside kick, right? Because you're now by 18. You should probably go for it here, right? Right? Because you can't stop the run. You need to go onside kick here. As far as I'm concerned, that's what you need to do here. Ecuador man says garbage time Dak. Yes, you also might not get any more garbage time if you don't get this onside kick. And recovered at the 45. Down by 18, 3:45 to go. Just put me out of my misery, just like in real life. Run, run, run. Now, except I'm going to do a bong or shot and tortilla slap myself. Heck, I'm telling my boss I'm taking a free PTO. We've all earned it. Might take the Monday after off if this was real life. You think you're going to be there? Nope. Refuse to be there. Don't want to be there. Here comes a run, run, run. At least that's what I would do if I were the Packers. You can't stop their ground game. Are they going to get the ball back on offense? You think? Like, seriously, they had a 5-minute drive already once today. From the 45, Jacobs is going to get nothing. 2nd and 10. This ends one of 2 ways. Cowboys do not get the ball back. Cowboys get the ball back with a meaningless amount of time left, which we're kind of already there, frankly. And Dak throws one more pick. That's how this game ends. It's one of those two ways. Love under center. Play action, boot right. Wide open in the flat for a first down. It's Christian Watson. Jordan Love is 18 of 20. Unbelievable. Love under center. They are now on chew clock, by the way. Snap comes with 2 on the play clock. Handoff to Jacobs. He still picks up 3. Dallas is not going to call a timeout. That's going to take us down to the 2-minute warning then. And we are officially going out of here. It'll be the the final sim of the season. Art imitates life, and the Cowboys get spanked in the playoffs, in which nobody played well. Nobody. Lamb played well. Handoff to Jacobs, straight up the guts. First down, and if Jacobs wasn't going like this, he would have scored a touchdown. If he was in protect the ball mode, he would have scored a touchdown for sure. Oh, fire Mike. And what is Malik Hooker doing? Everyone's right by him. Carey wants a mulligan. First and goal, Dallas did not call a timeout. If the Packers don't score, we can say they would have. The Cowboys defense gets 0 stops in real life. Dak throws in this game. Dak throws a pick 6. The O-line plays bad. There's no ground game. It really is just like real life. A virtual carbon copy minus a miracle garbage time fourth quarter effort. One last play and that'll do it. You have to fire Madden Mike, by the way. They came out unprepared again. Stopped him on 3rd and goal, but they will not run one more play. Let's make sure we show Mike spiking it. Let's make sure, assuming he does that. Cowboys didn't even try to get the football back. Packers 28, Dallas 10. The divisional round matchup once again between Dallas and Green Bay. A playoff matchup ends with a Green Bay win, and the Madden Sims are over. I guess that's all we're going to get from Mike. Just a, that's all we're going to get. Packers win. So did you enjoy our Madden Sims? L for you liked them, D for you disliked them. Let me know in the comments section if you had fun doing that this season. Let me know, L or D. And if you want to say L for a loss too, call it WL. One more time to vote in our Cowboys Legend voting. And folks, I have a confession for you. I ran that sim twice because I didn't like the first outcome. And do you know what the first outcome was? A 28-10 loss. I ran the sim twice, and it was the same fucking outcome. And at that point, I had no more time, and I'm like, you know what? This is just how it's supposed to be. I tried to rig that game for the first time all year, and man's like, no, it's going to be the exact same outcome. How dare you even suggest anything else? 28-10 in both of the sims I did. Because I ran it Sunday morning when I was out and about, and then I came back. I'm like, let me see what happened. Oh, no. We're going to reset that one. Then I ran it that night after I played CFP 25. And I'm like, I'm just going to ride with this one because it can't be worse than the first one. There's no way it's going to be worse than the first one, right? Wrong. L. Yeah, it was just destiny there. Get your Cowboys Legends votes in. We'll be back live on Thursday. No more Madden Sims. We will, though, have training camp coverage. So don't miss out. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Decent timing. The Madden season comes to an end as the real season begins.